Wow, peeps. There we go. Well, it will be when I've grabbed the headphones. That's gonna be the fun part. So, um, I managed to do a lot I managed to, um, what's the name do? I've spent half the night putting a radio show together, or cobbling one up together, which will go up to the end of tomorrow morning. It won't be the actual full-blown show, because I've not had a whole afternoon, which I wanted. Oh, sorry if I sound annoyed. I'm just a bit tired. So I'd say I'm tired. Freaking hell. Uh, but yeah. So I got a call. I had a very interesting call with EE this afternoon because I rang up. They rang me and I answered the phone and they said it's such a person from EE calling, and I thought this is going to be a sales call, but I heard no one typing in the background. I thought this is serious, and it was a serious call because they said who they were and everything. I thought, oh no. Last time I had a call like that, it was from Vodafone years ago. Um, because I'd spent too much. I thought, oh shit, where have I gone wrong here? They said your contract's ending. Well, it's ended basically. I said, right, well, before you go any further, right? One, I don't want a laptop. Two, I said there's two things actually. I'm happy with this phone that I have, and I want to stay on the contract. Me being Asper, just kind of sticking to my routine, sticking to my guns, because I'm happy with this contract. I'm happy with the only thing I'm not happy with is I just wish Neil would get Wi-Fi. I really wish. The day will never happen where we get a Wi-Fi router. In fact, I mean, the pros and cons of getting a router. I mean, the pros are the pros are Um, yes, it'd be good if I had a router because then it means that I'm not going to go over my data all the time. However, someone would go over on the data, wouldn't they? I mean, technically, um, you know, that's one of the cons. Another pro is, um, you're always going to rely on it. It's signal, whatever. Um, Plus, you know that everything's connected and everything. The cons are you end up connecting every single machine to your router. That's one of the cons. Um, Another con is what I said before about data, like literally, you mean, and also another thing is you don't get the full percentage of your data anymore. That's literally like we're not living in 2010 anymore or 2012. The early days of where you paid for the full percentage of your internet, uh, full bandwidth speed. You have to be a business owner to to get that speed. Um, to get the full bandwidth, and even then, you get half that rate. I mean, but I'll be getting more data on Monday because Mother's going to be Mother's going to love me after I've said this. But literally, I'm not paying anything more. Uh, in actual fact, the woman said to me on the phone, "It's cheap. It's going to work out cheaper." And plus, I'm getting 100 gig data on Monday. Yes, I can't wait. I get more data, but it's all fine if I want to. I just fill out another contract if I want to go back to another contract. But I haven't seen like phones. I was discussing this. I think was it Rachel's friend, the iPhone Pro. I saw this right, the iPhone Pro. Now it's very different, right? The phone. I was quite disappointed. I saw the iPhone Pro a few years ago. I thought, oh, I'd love one of those. Get me one of those, right? When I contract, when I get it, I'll get me one of those when I get it on my contract. I said, what does the iPhone Pro? Just another camera, and literally that's all it is. You don't get. It's not. It's not literally. Um, it's not something that I would run out and buy. You know, I mean, if it had an extra USB on it, I'd be like, whoa, yeah, get one of those tomorrow. Or if it had, uh, if they were bringing back the headphone jack, the 3.5 headphone jack, get one. So, in fact, there'd be loads of people running out to buy it, I think. Wouldn't just be me, but little things like that, little luxuries like that. Or if there's something else that it's doing that other phones aren't doing, then yes, I'll be buying the latest one. But there's loads of people, I'm happy. I've got the 8 Plus, and I know a lot of kids, but as the woman on the phone said to me, she said a lot of people aren't doing. I said, well, that's strange. I thought a lot of people would be wanting to go out and buy the latest, they'd be wanting to have the latest model phone. Don't get me wrong, there are phones that I would love to have, but would I want them as an everyday phone? I mean, I've thought many a time going down the Samsung route, because there's so many open source applications for it, and I've thought of going down the open source route. And I've thought of going down the VTech route. Oh, you, you're all gonna. But you see, the reason I thought I'd love to get the Kiddycom phone. Um, the only issue is it doesn't have speech software on, and I would be like going between two phones, and you know, I mean, I'm waiting till my guarantee's up with the VTech Genio laptop, and then I'm gonna not jailbreak it per se, but I know I'm gonna try and get to the Android system underneath it and try and see if I can get a speech software running on it. And that's all I want to do with it, really. Um, I might be able to get Risk OS running on it, on the VTech. I mean, that's something. If I do that, I'll make a YouTube video on it. I've got to say, hey, I've got Risk OS running on the Genio laptop. Um, but they're little things that I might do. I might do. It's one of those things I'm going to have to think really hard about it. I mean, you could get the Risk OS system running on the VTech Junior laptop. You probably wouldn't break it. Um, it would probably run it fine. Um, you could probably run it in the browser. Um, but it's something that I might not do. But yeah, if I can do little developer things on the junior laptop, then I might think, yeah, I'll get a phone in the VTech line, do the same thing that I did to the laptop to the phone, and then hey ho, that'll be me. But you know, the VTech person, would I go down that line? No. But anyway, so yeah, I'm just getting more data on Monday, which I'm happy. It'll still be capped. The woman's explained to me that there is a cap on it. I'll just have more data. And she said to me, "You would not." She's looked at the thing. She said, "You would not go over it." The amount of data I use. But oh Lord, the day that we get Wi-Fi at Neil's house would be a blessing. Um, I mean, I've thought of how am I going. I mean, I'm thinking of how I would get stretch the Wi-Fi from Mummy's house. I mean, there are ways of doing it, but it's very costly, um, and it's not sneaky enough. Um, so I've thought of going over to Dovehaven and try and find out what they're asking nicely, politely for their Wi-Fi password, but they would probably know that I'm up to something. So, but I wouldn't mind having it because I can get their Wi-Fi fine. Even though their router's secure, I don't think it's that secure because if you can get it from that length, so the security of that router is questionable. So yeah, but I don't have any. I don't know of any naughty solutions yet, but uh, if I do find out something, I'd I'd love to give it a try. I mean, I'll try anything once. I mean, the only other way I know, but it's not sneakily enough, is connecting a Ethernet cable to one socket, and then you you get another Ethernet cable and you connect it to another socket. But you have to get something somehow, and how would that work? You need a special socket, and again, you'd have to get it online. Because I don't really want people knowing that I'm nicking their Wi-Fi. Oh, but yeah, I'm so looking forward to next Wednesday evening and next Thursday daytime. Because next Wednesday evening is when I'm going to do my mix on Bigo. So I'm looking forward to doing that because it's first mix that I'm doing online. And next Thursday is when I start my show next Thursday and a bit of Friday morning. I had a really nostalgic thought because I was watching a video from Dan Wood on YT. Now, I remember my real dad saying to me, was it Mr. Irvine at school? Can't remember. But I remember asking the question, how do you watch videos on a PC? And someone said to me, Stephen, you need to get a video card. And I was watching on YouTube Dan Wood showing off was it the Magic, Real Magic video card. Now, in the 90s, they would have been really expensive to own. I mean, nowadays, watching videos on your PC is nothing. And especially some of the things that, like FLV, you know, sorry, FMV, full motion video. Um, I mean, I remember back in the day when you had the VCDs, a film would come on 2 or 3 discs. In fact, they were around for quite a while because VCDs, even when DVD players came out, um, yes, there were DVD burners, but they were very rare. Um, so what people used to do was they used to make VCDs, and also VCDs were easy to download. um, they were easy to rip, and they were quicker. And even when you could make put a film onto a DVD, people were still doing VCDs because they were a lot easy, a lot easier and quicker. Um, and also, um, you could download a film like um, when you burnt a DVD, you had to check the DVD player was in that region. Whereas if you did a VCD, you didn't have to worry about what region your DVD player was in. You could just burn the CDs off. But the only con of the VCD was you'd have to remember to change disc. Now, if I remember watching Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, which was on 2 discs. I remember we saw that before it got in the cinemas because we downloaded it and we watched it uh, on the VCD before we went in the cinema. This is way before Netflix. You know, this is before Netflix came up. Well, Netflix was probably around, but it wasn't, streaming films wasn't even heard of. People used to get them off torrent sites. That's where you would get them. And then you would burn them off. um, yeah, there used to be a site, I think it was called LineWire back in the day. People used to get music and film off it. Um, LineWire or BearShare or Pirate Bay. Uh, they're still knocking around. But yeah, and that's how people used to get the films. Or they'd be knocking around on car boot sales. And that's how people used to. And I think was in India. This is what I learned from the YouTube vid. Was they became very popular because they were cheaper to do over there. So the VHS tape went quickly from there, then didn't hit. We didn't. I think the VHS tape disappeared in 2002, 2003. I think it was later than that because I did see a few VHS tapes around. Now they're just a nice thing to have. But yeah, the old FMV. In fact, if you probably don't remember, the Sega CD was. I mean, we had a Sega CD, but there wasn't very many memorable games made for it, except for Night Trap. We didn't have that. We had Road Avengers. I'd like to have played Night Trap, but it was very glitchy. I've seen how it loads pretty. There was another FMV title that I played that was on I think it was on 3DO. It was a fighting game. I think it was Super Street Fighter 2. But I mean, there were games that came out in the late 90s that pushed the Real Magic video card. I mean, the late 90s, early 2000s. That's when we saw PC gaming as it should have been, really. In video gaming as it should have been. I always thought, anyways, that games on the PC were, way better. The sound. I remember playing Doom, and it's in the PlayStation, it's in Nintendo, it's in Sega. I had a Sega. This is when I got to play Doom on a PC with full booming sound. That was it. Anyway, I'm going to end my stream now. But I'll do something tomorrow, hopefully. Ah.